Hey, soul fam, welcome back to another episode of Just Unchained Souls. We are going to exist in a realm where life can just flourish for you. And we have another great episode, okay? We're going to speak on the difference between soul healing and spiritual growth. Okay, because it can be a bit confusing for many, and many teachings out there. There isn't a lot of clarity on soul healing, period. Okay, we always talk about the spirit and lift the spirit, and no one talks about the soul. So that's what we do. Okay, as you know, we are just unchained souls. So we're going to speak about the difference so that you can have clarity moving forward and you can really grow into that individual that you truly want to be. And in order for you to do that, as you know, we need to have understanding, clarity, and we need to heal up any wounds that's tied to our roots immediately to just have a more clean energy. Okay? And so, even though we are soul-based, we're going to start with the spirit. Because I know if you like me, and in the beginning of this whole journey was like, okay, what's this? What's that? Like, okay, asking all the type of questions and getting all type of answers that you be like, honey, which one is it? Okay. So we're going to just speak on no type of religion when we talk about spiritual growth. Okay. To understand spiritual growth, you don't have to, of course you can go into religion. However, to understand spiritual growth, you don't have to pick a religion to understand what spiritual growth is. Okay, so to understand the spirit overall, you have to understand that it's your belief system that's tied to your energy. Okay, so the way I like to break it down for many people who may ask and that's searching for some clarity or where to start, you want to understand that it's your belief system. Okay, so when you think about your belief system and you think about the root of why you make decisions, and you think about why you have certain behaviors and certain actions and why you choose to do whatever it is that you choose to do, you got to understand that all that is tied to your belief system, what you truly believe. Okay, and that belief system is tied to the whole foundation of where it is you're trying to go in life, period. Okay? So in life, you may have this financial goal. In life, you may have this family goal. In life, you may have this career goal, right? All that is going to be tied to your beliefs. Okay? And even if you decide to either, tie yourself to another brand, like go build a career job, they're going to put you through training, right? Whatever job you choose to get, they're going to put you through training, right? And so when you think about training, what are they training you to do? They're training you to operate under their system, how they grow their brand, how they grow their business, how they believe things should be run in order to produce a certain result, right? So when you think of your belief system just in your body, right? Your essence, your life, you have a belief system too. Right? So you, for instance, may believe that, let's say, I would love to jump into God is, we're going to just keep it a little more light for now. Okay, now if you believe that karma is real, let's start there. You believe that karma is real. So you believe that whatever actions you produce, good or bad, karma is going to come back to you. Rather that's, I don't like to use the word good. Great karma is going to come back to you based on great actions that you do. And if you decide to do anything beyond that, then it's what they call sin without God. So lying, stealing, being jealousy, you get what I'm saying? All that is what is considered sin. And sometimes we get so caught up in religion that we don't really even grasp our mind around the word sin. Sin just means without God. Even if you was to learn like the Spanish language, they'll use sin to explain, their normal conversation, to just explain that it's without God. Point blank, period. It's a Latin word, and it stems from that simple thing that God isn't present. Okay, and so when you think about your spiritual growth and you think about God, right, you understand that God is going to want you to do what's best. We're going to just say what's best. Because when you say what's good, it all depends on who's the narrator, right? Because it may be good for you, however, it may not be good for them. Because maybe they meaning like friends that want to maybe take advantage of you. That's good for them. They're getting benefits, right? However, for you, it's not good because you're being drained. So I don't like to use the word good or bad for that sense, because it's always about what's best. What's best for you and what's best for them. It just makes more sense long term, right? Because if you sit and try to wrap your head around, okay, this is good, this is bad, this is good, this is bad, this is good. It's like you don't really get to mature in a sense, because you're afraid to say certain words because you think they bad. For people that's afraid to say no, some people really can't say no because they think it's a bad thing, it's a bad action. It's what it's tied to. So when you just go to the root and you take out good or bad and you say what's best, it helps you make more precise decisions, right? You're not sitting around toggled and torn and going back and forth for what can be hours and days and weeks, and for some people years, all because you're afraid to say the word no because you don't want them to feel bad. You don't want to seem like the bad guy. So you see how you kind of stay stuck with that belief, right? So when you go into spiritual growth and you keep it simple, and then you choose to go to religion, or maybe you came out of religion, it's nothing against religion. I just want to make that clear. Like, spiritual growth shouldn't be a place because you want to put shame to other religions. No, that just makes the religion you trying to create the same thing. You get what I'm saying? So fam, so to really get out of the rabbit holes and really get out of the BS and understand spiritual growth, understand it's doing what's best, period. And saying no is often what's best for you and them, because now you're not enabling their behaviors. Now you're not keeping them lazy. Now you're giving them the energy to get up and not feel like you're trying to be a bad guy, and they can just see things in a different light, way more simpler. And when you think about spiritual growth, it does take time to grasp clarity on, okay, what is God trying to show me on my journey? Right? Because God is showing us all different things on our journey. Everyone you meet, God is showing everybody something a little bit different. We all have a different lens. And when you're maturing in that spiritual growth, you're maturing in what God is asking you to do, more importantly. You don't have to be so worried about what your neighbor is doing, because you're focused in on what God is telling you to do. And everything aligns that way when everyone plays their part. Like the Most High is in control. If everyone's playing their part, everything will run smoothly, even when problems arise. We forget that God doesn't say it's not going to be no problems. No, God is going to give us some problems, because that's the way we're going to strengthen our skills, strengthen our understanding. When we're in that real lifetime of an encounter, a negative encounter, where who's going to be the one that really gets to the root and brings some clarity and have a mature conversation creating great ideas based on what didn't work, growing as a whole. So spiritual growth is just as important as soul healing. We just have to have clarity with spiritual growth, because with so many different don't even see my face, with so many different teachings and confusion in the world, it can be a difficult journey for many. And to be transparent, it has been a difficult journey for me. It has not been an easy journey. I'm just going to God with it. That's why it may seem like, wow, Amelia, life is so perfect. No, I'm going to God. I'm going straight to God. And to be even completely honest, I do say God is. I did make a shift for me, because it's the only thing that makes sense in my world. Not to say, okay, that's not right in your world. No, do what you would like in your world. And do me a favor, don't judge me in mine. Because if God created us all in his image, right? I have to be in the image of a woman, of a feminine energy. Because every time I look at a man, our bodies don't look the same. No matter what surgery we do, our bodies don't look the same. So it's hard for me to truly believe a truth that God is only masculine when there's women walking around making babies. I mean, unless we're gonna just put a veil on top of that, I'm not. And since I've removed that veil, yes, things have been so much more peaceful. I have gotten so much more clarity. I have gotten so much more answers. So from my experience, when I was not even aware of the more feminine goddess energy, like it's not introduced in Christianity where I was started. We just say God, thank God, and Jesus. He's not in my image because he's a he. So I keep things simple. God is. Thank you, Goddess. Not to say, Father, you ain't do no work. I'm sure God trusts that Goddess can handle the job because she has a more better understanding based on just being feminine. And it's not to say anything with God related isn't the truth. That's like when I give someone a compliment, like say it's a group of people showing up, and I'll see one girl that got on this shirt I like. That is a pretty shirt. It doesn't mean everybody else's shirt is ugly. No, I just related more to that color she had on or something like that. You get what I'm saying? I'm just giving her a compliment. It has nothing to do with anybody else. It does not take away from anyone else's shine. And it takes maturity to understand that. It takes maturity to understand that. Because you can't live in a closed mind that everything is just one way when you look around and there's a gazillion different races, mixes, hair colors, like different ways to live, this hot, this cold. There's so many layers that it's impossible for you to sit around and think, okay, this is just one way. It's just one. It's not just one. We are all one collectively. Hello? I mean, let me just not even go too far, because then I feel like I'm defending it, and I don't gotta defend it. I don't have to prove to anyone anything. And for you, Sophia, you don't have to prove to anybody what you believe to be is true. If it's working for you, if that's working for you over there, and you got everything that you have asked for, and you are pleased and you are satisfied, you shouldn't even know I exist, right? You minding your business. So if everything is working for you, do your thing. Do your thing. Because I'm not over there peeling down nobody's house. If that's working at your house, babe, round of applause. Okay? So when we get back to spiritual growth, we didn't even get to soul healing yet. When we continue on to spiritual growth and understanding what it is and how it relates to our decision making, it also relates to how we are praying. When we are praying, right? When we are into our spiritual growth, we're asking and we're reporting to the spiritual realm, right? So the world, the spiritual realm, the non-seen world that looks different for everyone because obviously it's unseen. Of course, everyone's going to have a different perspective, right? Now, when you choose the perspective that works best for you and you start praying, this is where spiritual growth happens, because you're communicating to the unseen realm and you're asking and reporting for what it is you may need to move forward. And so when you start to grow that connection, right? So say you ask and you receive, or say you ask and you don't receive, understanding why both times builds that connection, right? You are understanding who's in control, even when you try to do everything to control it. You be like, all right, let me stop thinking. let me stop while let me start listening, because I was brought here. I didn't create them. They created me, right? So you gotta have that respect. That's number one. And you gotta know who you believe your God or goddess is. Before you even go into the realm, I mean, you can go into the realm and just start knocking on doors. However, when you go into the realm, you need to know who you talking to. Who you talking to? That's like if I go into a physical school, right? And I go asking requests and asking for situations and asking questions. Are you going to go to the teacher, the principal, or the student in that school when you start asking questions? It depends on your question, right? If I got a little small question, I'm going to go to the student. And if I got a question that I know the teacher can answer, I'm going to go to the teacher. I'm going to go straight to the teacher. I'm going to go straight to Miss Paulie room. That's it. Miss Paulie, I got a question, right? Now, if you got a bigger request and Miss Paulie don't got the answer for you, what Miss Paulie going to do? Because she's a great teacher. She's going to be like, you know what, babe? You got to go to the principal. You got to go to the principal for that one. And having an understanding of who you talking to. Before I go to a teacher, I'm gonna look at their fruit a little bit. I'm gonna look at their fruit a little bit. Like, all right. And if a student comes to me, I know that student was assigned to me. I'm not just going to be a teacher speaking freely to just fifth graders when my students are in college. There's a different level of understanding. So you have to take your time with this process, so fam. Like I said in the beginning, yeah, it was rocky. It wasn't all smooth. Because I'm like listening to students that got F's on their tests. And I just didn't have that understanding. And so when I follow somebody that got an F on their test, what you think I got? And what you think I did when I got that F? I had to cry a little bit. I had to fall a little bit. I had to feel it a little bit. So when I go back to take that test, all right, let me stop playing and let me study properly. Let me look at the right resources. Let me go within a bit more. Let me follow this. Let me pay a little bit more attention. Let me stop playing around with this. Because there's too many things that I know to be true to just drop the pen and just drop out. And in college, I am a college graduate. It ain't even about that. What you got to understand though, when you go to college, so when you go in freshman year, and everyone already knows every freshman year there's going to be 90%, 100% people that go in and 90% people that drop out. So you only going to graduate with your 10%. Most people, it get too difficult. And I'm talking about real college, just to give you the analogy. It get too difficult. Things come up. They get busy. Life starts to happen. They just figure things out different ways. They just take a different route. And not to say it's not the right route. Or you're not supposed to do that. They wrong. You can do what you want. You can do what you want. What I chose to do, I chose to study it out. If I start something, for some reason, whatever God has put in me, I gotta stick it out. I gotta stick it out. Okay? Like, let me just stick this out. Let me just try again. Let me just, give it a great try. And that's what you gotta understand with spiritual growth. From the roots, when you understand spiritual growth, you understand that the spirit does have access to your mind. Has a key to your mind, right? Spiritual growth has a key to your mind in order for all it to work and flow. Now, when we get into soul healing, the soul owns the mind. So the spirit has the key. The soul owns the building. And that's the difference, because the soul is the essence, soul fam. Your soul is the essence of you. Now let's focus in on soul healing and what it pertains to, right? Now we done knocked the spirit out. We done got that solidified, right? Now, soul healing is your essence, your characteristics, your confidence, your ability to connect and read energy at a high level. Okay, so when you think about your essence, right, your characteristics, your confidence, these are things that are developing at an adolescent's age, right? So where you grow up, your household, your school, right? This is all related to what your soul is picking up and what your soul is reflecting through you, right? And when you think about you, all parts of you, the spirit, the body, the mind, okay? Just so you know who you is, in case we gotta go back to that class, because we can go back to that class. Your confidence. okay? Your confidence to speak, your confidence to make friends and socialize, your confidence to start something, your confidence 360. So fam, don't miss a corner. And your ability to connect and read energy at a high level, right? So when we think about dating, right, and we try to connect with someone and we don't read the energy really well, right? We still kind of new and we're not understanding what someone is giving us, right? So for instance, if someone is ignoring you to get your attention, right? That's how they connect. They connect by making you question yourself. They connect with you with low confidence. And so now they want you to reciprocate that. Obviously, because that's what they gave you, right? Once you start to understand. And when you're wise enough, you'd be like, I don't want to connect with that low energy. So when they send that low energy to connect with, is your choice to either drop down and connect, right? Because you're reading what they're giving you, you understand what they're giving you, drop down and connect, or just drop that connection, period. Now, it always depends on the situation. However, we all grown, so fam, if someone is still trying to connect with you with low vibrational frequencies, it's not best if you're asking for something better in life, right? You went to the spiritual realm and you're asking for a mature individual. You're asking for love. You're asking for a high frequency connection. Then right then when the world sends you trash, do just that with it. Put it in the trash. Because long term, they're not going to stop. That's who they chose to be. And that's not your problem. Your soul, your healing of the soul is understanding that we're always a work in progress, right? So even when you make it to your highest level, there's always another level, right? And so there's always going to be room for growth. It doesn't mean something is wrong with you because you're choosing to do soul healing. That's like if I choose to go to the gym every day, not every day, but I choose to have gym in my lifestyle. It doesn't mean I think I'm fat. It just means I want to maintain a healthy body. Same with soul healing. You just want to maintain a healthy soul. Okay? So when you understand that, it allows you to really have understanding of your future reactions and understanding when a problem enters your realm or eye view and how you should respond to that and how you really master that response moving forward, right? So if you're not someone that's great with rejection, right? Rejection is a response to someone saying no to you for whatever reasons, right? And if you haven't dealt with rejection enough to understand it doesn't mean something's wrong with you or you did something wrong, it can be tough because it can play with your confidence where now you don't even want to ask a question or now you don't even want to put yourself on the field. Now you don't even want to play the game because you're too afraid of rejection. Right? So with soul healing, you are strengthening that response within yourself so that when it happens, it doesn't take a big toll on you or on your day, or like if you offer to help someone do something and they say no, you don't start, okay, maybe I shouldn't have asked. You don't start questioning and doubting yourself and lowering your confidence because someone said no. So that's what I mean when I say it's really helping your future reactions because it's helping you have that clarity that when someone says no, it's not because you're this horrible person. And that can be used in many different scenarios. That's just one for you to understand. Soul healing also gives you a very high viewpoint that the average person most likely won't see. Okay, most people are not paying that much attention to soul healing because they're focused more on their spirit side or their finances, one or the other. And so soul healing really gives you a high viewpoint because you look way beyond the day. You know, you have a really depth understanding of moments that's happening, and it really allows you to just stand firm and strong on that eagle eye view at all times. Yeah. And so when you're growing and you're healing your soul, it's not that it's something wrong with your soul or wrong with you, right? Nothing wrong. Sometimes we always be like, what's wrong? What's wrong? Like, that's our first reaction. Nothing wrong. You're just in an elevated state of life. You know, evolution and being better and wanting more and staying in that space of movement rather than still. And being in that place of movement without being in that place of super anticipation or super, you know what I'm saying? Super anxiety of the unknown, and just existing in a place where you're confident and you're working on a goal without being too hard on yourself, you know, like it's kind of related to the marathon, you know. It's not like trying to do a sprint through soul healing and spiritual growth and trying to get to the end, because it never ends, soul fam. it never ends. And when you understand that, you're not in a running race state of trying, you're not in that Pac-Man state, you know, like just trying to get to the next level, just gotta get to the next level, because it's gonna be the same thing, just different scenarios each level. And the difference is you're gonna be stronger, wiser, and richer. So, of course, we want to do it when we at our riches. Trust me, okay? And in a sense, we would think like being richer will help, when honestly, so fam, being richer, it doesn't make a big difference in the sense of, honestly, I'm more of a resourceful person. So that's why I'm trying to not have a bias. And I'm like, I got a bias. Because when I'm able to, we all like to save $1. If we could get a sale, we'd be over here jumping cahoots. We bought something for $100, that was $400. It's embedded in our program that we got to see a sale, you know, to really feel great about that buy. And so when you are creating things and using your resource, and you really create something where you didn't spend a whole lot of money, that's why I'm like, to be richer, you start spending unnecessary money because you got money. You know, like, oh, let me just buy this, let me just buy that, let me just buy. You kind of buy your way through things a bit. And being a little bit tight at the wallet in the beginning, I'm going to say, like, I'm grateful I had that route. So that's why I'm like, being richer is only like the end goal where you don't even have to think so much. However, in the beginning, when you're not as rich and you gotta be thinking, I feel like it really, like, the results were way more than I could have imagined, because being rich, you just buy everything, you know, you don't really get the benefits of being broke. And there's a lot of benefits of being broke because there's so many things you qualify for. that, you know what, let me just chop this up. Let me just do it like this. Let me just take some time. And it allows you to make those sacrifices. And that is just like so rich for the soul. Like when the soul, I was gonna say, when she know, and for me, it's she obviously, when she know that she sacrificed this to produce this, like, sis ain't moving off her pedestal. Sis be sitting there like, you know, if you could get a visual, that the throne chair, you know, grapes and fruits, and just sitting up there like, I worked for this. I deserve this type of sit, you know, and I feel like it's so much more nourishing to her. And it allows our connection to grow because the trust is there. You know, it's like, I don't ask no questions now. I just be like, let me just zip and do. You know, like, what's next? All right, let me just do it. And it feels like, you know, if I had a boss, like if I had someone I answered to, like back in the day, I used to work for TD Bank. I had a boss that I listened to. And I just listened to him. You know, whatever he told me to do, I did it. And so creating that type of bond with myself, with my soul, like, all right, whatever she asked me to do, we got to a place where it's like, all right, I'm ready. I don't drag my feet. I don't need someone to push me to do it. Like, she asked me to do this. That's how the movement stays consistent. All right, so man, I done gave you some sauce, some gravy, some greatness, and it's time for you to really exist in a realm where life can just flourish for you. And if you miss some key points, like, listen to this twice for real, because it makes a big difference moving forward when you just know, like, shh. I don't even have to listen to that. Shh, they don't know what they talking about. You just be that within wisdom. Priceless. Priceless. No doubt about it. For those that are new, again, my name is AmeliaAdair. I'm so grateful that you tuned in today. And I know this message is going to bring you some peace, clarity, and love. And you already know how it goes. I'm going to see you on the next flow. We're just unchained souls. And have an awesome week. And I'll talk soon. Bye for now.